ready!
Hello everybody, I'm Druby and welcome to Final Fantasy XIII Randomizer Part 6. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's see, we got the Paragon set up here. Now make sure you do have Sensical and Medic, at least, because you're going to be needing that later on, coming up here soon. But that setup right there is that's the most important setup of this whole game. So make sure you at least have all of that right there. And we'll go over that coming up here soon. So these enemies here, you can just dodge them and go around them like that. These enemies up here, you'll have to fight for the treasure right there. Now I did show this off because of that little boss right there.
We fight and
Take
we
care of
survive.
the soldiers first. And his attack, that little boss over there, his staff that he's got, if he hits you with it and you're about to attack, it'll knock you right out of an attack. Kind of like with one of the enemies from before. There are several enemies that will interrupt your attack. So yeah, slash and burn. And then double cast. Double casting will put them into stagger quick. And then of course War and Peace for some healing. And keep Snow attacking the enemy. I haven't done any upgrading to Snow yet, and I don't think I might have. I'm not sure. But with everything that I have set up right now, other than the Crystarium, I do think I've worked on the Crystarium. It should be enough to get through these next few areas. But this guy can take a minute to defeat. Now I know I lost the stagger at some point with one of these fights, and I don't remember if it was this fight or not.
How about this?
But yeah, you just got to keep an eye on the stagger when fighting him. But when it's just him by himself, you got slash and burn, double casting, and then War and Peace. Be able. Sentinel could help too. The only thing that I have right now is Entrenched. But there's without provoke. Provoke will lure enemy. Whoever uses provoke will lure the enemy to the person that used provoke. And it's very useful to have when you're a sentinel. And then you can just pretty much go into an entrench or something that will help guard. But seeing that Snow only has entrenched right now, it won't always focus on Snow. It'll go and focus. You'll probably go and focus on Hope, as you will see later on with the fight that's coming up that I was talking about earlier. But yeah, if you need to use Sentinel, you could probably do that. Take a chance of that.
Thanks, partner.
But normally the 3 rolls work pretty well here. He does take some time to beat though.
Time to switch, kiddo.
Try this on for socks!
Well, that's good because he's in the middle of charging something, and that's another good thing is that when they're ready to do one of the basic finishing moves, and they're about to go into a stagger, it'll interrupt their finishing move, so you'll be able to do some damage on them on that enemy without taking damage from them from that finishing move that they want to do. But yeah, a bit of a rough fight. Perfect. That is for upgrading weapons to the end accessories. Once it reaches, it's one of those items that once it reaches to the max, so the accessory. Yeah, I didn't even put on an accessory on Snow, speaking of. But I put on Brawler's wristband. But yeah, once that accessory reaches to the max of that weapon, then you can use Perfect to upgrade to a different tier. You're actually not supposed to get that so much later on in the game. So a lot of those that you're not supposed to get so much later on in the game, you get them now. They can be real useful if you have enough items to upgrade your weapons to the final tier. Or to the max, really. I get some orange there. Now up here, not these enemies, but the next enemies here, they are avoidable. If you stick close to the wall and just keep going straight and then turn left at the corner here, you can get past them, but it depends. Sometimes you can get past them, sometimes you can't.
I think we're almost there.
Yeah, I did forget there was a treasure back here. Luckily, I did remember. But yeah, normally if you stick close to that wall like that and keep going forward, you should be able to avoid the enemy. Set the magician's mark. Which, like I said, I think I got a lot of magician's marks, so I'll probably wind up selling some of those later on. I haven't sold any yet. Alright, so once you get to this point, we're now Fang and Lightning. Did their Paragon deck here. And then I quit. Oh yeah, Fang's one of Fang's weapons that we got earlier. All these enemies can be avoided. You're only Fang and Lightning for this little small area here, and then we go back to Hope and Snow. But we do go back as Lightning and Fang here soon. Yeah, they're corralled. Yeah, right up here. It took me forever to realize where this treasure was. I always heard it, but I could never find it until I actually started searching the area a little bit more. I did not realize that there was a platform up there. But we got 25 bomb fragments there. And then you can just hop down there. But yeah, I just randomly found that area one day. I was like, oh, there it is. I was wondering where that was. Yeah, so you can go left up here, and then you can avoid all the enemies over there. It's over there to the right.
These people want to kill us, don't they?
To be able to avoid that enemy there, and then we got one more item right up here.
Citizens, a state of emergency has been declared.
And that is a weapon for Lightning.
Commencing within safety. A mandatory citywide evacuation has been ordered. Please remain calm and proceed as directed by security force personnel.
Yeah, I just stuck to the right, avoided the enemies there, and then stuck to the left and avoided the enemies here. I believe we're still Snow and Hope at this point. We're about to go into the next area. Yeah.
There's so many of them. Are they really that
Did I avoid him? Yes, I did. Okay. There was one run that I actually ran into him. But I was using my back controller at that point. Alright, so here is that enemy that I was talking about earlier. That motorcyclist that we fought earlier, the one I told you to avoid with Lightning and Hope, we're actually going to be fighting him up here.
Hold on to hope. Yeah, right.
As a matter of fact, he's right here too.
Hey, wait
Normally
up.
I don't run into him here, but he ran into me, so I had no choice but to fight him. And as you see him freaking up right there, and he just ran right into me. Alright, so here, you want to stick with Slash and Burn at first. Kind of do the normal setup, you know, the Slash and Burn, and then the double casting. Now there is a move that he has called Gatling Gun. As soon as you see the word Gatling Gun come above his head, switch over to any Sentinel. Well, actually switch over to Sentinel and Medic. Because Hope will keep you healed as Snow is in his trench. And if he starts shooting at Snow, it'll take Snow's health down to where he's about close to dead, but you know, between entrenched and Hope killing you, it shouldn't kill you at all. However, there is a chance that without provoke, he will go after Hope. If he does go after Hope, see, as you see there, there's Gatling Gun. lifeguard. Yeah, you want to switch to lifeguard and sentinel and medic. But if he does go after Hope, then you'll have to use the Phoenix down on him, because he will kill Hope very quickly. And you'll actually see that here coming up soon. Because I did fight him again, and he started focusing on Hope.
Time to switch, kiddo.
Yeah, as soon as you see the word Gatling gun,
Follow my lead.
no matter what role you're in, switch to lifeguard.
How about this?
And make sure it's lifeguard and not anything else, because
Thanks,
you do need
partner.
Hope healing as well.
It's all about teamwork.
So that's basically how you defeat him.
Oh, follow my lead.
If worse does come to worse, you can use the Shiva Sisters for some protection. But as long as you do all that, you should be fine. Didn't have to worry about him. He should stay up in the air like that. These guys didn't get me either, I don't think. No, I think they did get me, but they got me up here as soon as I was ready to jump up on the platform. Yeah. So I had to fight him there. Those I wound up selling. That's an accessory. Earth Charm, I believe I did sell. Yeah, I did sell that.
Leave this to me.
Same routine. Chances are you might run into him, which I did. Again, I got creeped up on. But yeah, it's the same routine as the last guy. Now up here is a bit different. It's the same motorcyclist, but one of those air soldiers are with him as well. So it's the same thing, but you want to focus on the air soldier first. And regardless of what's going on, as soon as you see the word Gatling gun, switch to lifeguard. Even though with the camera kind of being a little crazy right now, you should still, no matter what, see the word Gatling gun pop up.
Point for me.
Yeah, see, there it is, right there.
It's all about teamwork.
I was kind of a little late on that, but luckily he had to start shooting it, and as you see, he went straight to Hope. So at that point, I had no choice but to use a Phoenix Down. So that's what I was saying earlier about the Phoenix
Let's
Down
do
will
this,
come into
Hope.
play later. It'll also come into a play in another fight as well.
Try this on for size.
But yeah, at this point, if you don't have any Phoenix Down, I would at least buy 3 of them, just in case.
Thanks, partner. Hope, follow my lead.
Gatling gun, switchborn, or a lifeguard. You went after Hope again, so I had to use another Phoenix Down. I think he went after Hope 3 times, I'm not sure. I do know he does use Gatling gun again. But yeah, he did go after Hope 3 times.
Time to switch, kiddo.
Yeah, I'd say about 3 to 4 Phoenix Downs maybe, just in case.
How about this?
Unless if you got provoked, and then you should be alright. Provoked and like some kind of safeguard of sorts. Entrenched is pretty good because it's not only shielding you from that, but as you see in the end, it does do like a small little attack to him. Not much, but at least you're getting something on him.
Thanks, Hope.
Again, if you're in some real serious danger, you can always use the Shiva Sisters. We do have a boss coming up, and it's not really necessary to use the Shiva Sisters in that fight. But in case you do want to hold off on using the Shiva Sisters for that fight, then yeah, you can probably use that too. Yep, so here's number 3, and again, he went after Hope. That is another good thing you do now that I think about it. If you are running low on Phoenix down, then I would use the Shiva Sisters. Because like I said earlier, if somebody's dead, as you saw in that fight with Lightning and Hope, if one of the party members, other than the main one that's using falls, and you go into an Eidolon and then get out of it after done using it, that party member that died will be revived. So if you have to, then yeah, you use the Shiva Sisters to revive it.
Teamwork.
Now I do know there is at least one more motorcyclist that will be coming up, but if you're lucky, you won't have to fight him. I do use a one of those invisibility shrouds just to get past him. That is the one problem about small platforms with characters on there. They do wind up getting in your way. I do know I ran into some air soldiers up here. Yeah, I thought he was getting around me, and then he wound up doubling back and then getting me. Alright, so yeah, I would use one of the shrouds here, invisibility shrouds. Now, if by some chance you do run into the fight, then just retry the fight and do it again, and you'll be able to get around him. That's what happened. That's why you see that little cut there, because he ran into me. So I just went to go retry the fight, and then used the shroud again, and then went around him. Alright, so here, this guy, not in this fight, but here coming up soon, if you get to fight this guy twice, just a pain in the ass. So this fight should be alright. So as you saw, I did use some shrouds here. Same thing, start off with Flash and Burn. Build up the stagger gauge a little bit and switch to double casting. Now, like I said, if you save the Shiva Sisters and you desperately need them, you can do them here, use them here, especially if Hope falls. But your basic thing is just to make sure that party members stay healed and switch back and forth between double casting and Flash and Burn. Now, like I said, in this fight, this guy's not too bad. As a matter of fact, his overdrive here, as you see, he got buffed and debuffed at the same time. His attacks do get stronger, but you do wind up dealing a lot more damage to him with either regular attacks or magic, as you see the little magic symbol. But yeah, this guy right now is pretty easy to deal with. Later on, however, let's just say that's going to be a nightmare. Yeah, once he goes into overdrive there, that pretty much gives you a good advantage anyways, because once you get him into a stagger, then you'll be able to do a lot more damage and you'll be able to kill him quick. But as you see, he's doing a lot more damage to you as well. And then yeah, he went killing Hope. So if that happens, I would go into Steve's Sisters, or I would go into Steve's Sisters. But as you saw, I used Phoenix down instead. It's probably safer to do the Steve's Sisters, because if he decides to go after Snow and kill Snow, then you'll have to try to fight over again. But I would wait as long as you possibly can, like when his health is pretty much down to here, and you know the Steve's Sisters can defeat him. But seeing that he staggers is good.
Time to switch, kiddo.
The only thing is, now that he lost the buff and the debuff, so that's good and bad.
How about this?
But that swipe attack is pretty deadly. As you saw, it kills Hope. But it should be able, okay, no, it's going to take a little bit more.
Hope, follow my lead.
Yeah, just for safety precautions, I just went to War and Peace and tried to finish him off that way, so that way I didn't use Hope again. But I think I did, no, okay, he survived. But I believe I got him with this attack too. No, he's like one away. There we go. So yeah, even though if you're not getting 5 stars, it's just best to take victory and run with it. Because a lot of these are very, very complicated to 5 stars. Especially when you don't have many, your stats are not like that high enough going into mid-game. Or your weapons are pretty much weak, and that's my setup there.
I think they're ready to sacrifice the city if that's what it takes to catch us.
Yeah, you just stick to the left up here, climb up here. There is one of these guys down here that we will have to fight because he's holding the treasure there. Now with these guys are based on speed. Ordeon? Yeah, Ordeon. He's based on speed. So he's very fast. When you go to attack him, a lot of times your attacks are not going to hit. And it can get very annoying very fast. Also, another thing that gets very annoying is that when you're, I believe it's in double cast. If you're in double casting with, or no, slash and burn. When you're in slash and burn with lightning and, lightning and fang, lightning always has the habit of targeting the other enemy first, while you're targeting another enemy. So she's not going to focus on the enemy that you're focusing on, which gets very irritating to deal with. But you just, once you're in slash or in aggression, they'll both focus on the same enemy. So the best thing to do here is to use Fang's Saboteur. Try to get, as you see, I got impaled, which will do a lot more damage to him once it gets onto him. And then switch to like aggression, and then slash burn. Yeah, I gotta remember, Fang does not have Ravages. And now we're using aggression and slash and burn. Yeah, the impaled hit there.
Change of plans.
Now we should be able to do a little bit more damage to him. Yeah, that's some pretty good damage right there. I was able to kill him off. But there's 2 of those Ordeons later too that you have to fight. And that's where it gets the most annoying. You got 4,665 kills there. Behemoth, I would not bother fighting him. He's probably the same as it was in the Whitewood area, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. but hope is probably much stronger than Fang right now. Yeah, those were the two that I was talking about. So it's just, like I was explaining earlier.
We'll be in the residential district.
That I did wind up selling. That was an accessory.
Transfer request will not be granted.
Well, that's it for part 6. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.